was just thinking, doing these series and talking about, bereavement and talking about hospice. And with you and I, working in the field of hospice and bereavement, I think so many times you and I, we don't realize the impact that we have on families, on patients, either when they're terminal, or after they die and we go into the bereavement piece. And sometimes I go home and I'm so thankful that, and I'm so blessed, to feel that we are working this in this field. And I think I have to be really mindful of, yes, there's sorrow. Of course, there's sorrow at end of life, but there's also so much joy. And I think you and I are so privileged to witness the joy and to be able to walk alongside, somebody who is dying and the family, and then supporting them after their loved one dies. And I'm very thankful and I'm very grateful that we have this opportunity. Yeah.
Absolutely. And in the impact that, we certainly play our role in people's end of life and bereavement journey, but the impact that they leave with us,
Absolutely.
that they leave with me in particular, people many years down the road who hold a special place in my heart for their strength and dignity and
Absolutely.
ability to be so in touch with themselves and with their family members at end of life and during the bereavement journey. They stick with us too, and they build us up and allow us to do our job.
Absolutely. And I'm so mindful of some of our volunteers who have had that journey, who've walked that journey, who, some have had loved ones who have died at Sakura. And then, a couple years after, they come to us with this knowledge and this passion and this empathy that is so overwhelming and so grateful to individuals, and they give back. And I think a lot of working in hospice and bereavement is exactly that too. It's giving back. If we have our own personal story, I've shared, and I'm not. I always share. Many years ago, 28 years ago, my second child died of SIDS at the age of 7 months, and that death, her death, shaped who I am now. And it was a driving force for me to go to university late at life and get my social work degree. And I honestly think that it is not an accident why I eventually landed in hospice and bereavement. And I think it's an honor, and it really is a privilege. And there are days when, yes, the work is really, really heavy. It's overwhelming, but I always go back to, it's such a joy and such a privilege, and it's such an honor to listen to these life stories and to witness the vulnerability of individuals, and being able to sometimes just listening to somebody is what's needed if they're at end of life, or if they're bereaved. We're very fortunate.
Absolutely, we are bearing witness to the most difficult experience and journey of people's lives, and also bearing witness to them rising and marching on and carrying on, and the strength of the human spirit. It's life affirming. We're very lucky.
Absolutely. And I think we are very fortunate, because there's many times where either myself or you follow up with a family member or a friend who's had somebody die at Sakura, and we hear the stories. We hear the stories of how thankful they were that palliative care was available to them, that Sakura was available to them, because then they went back to being a spouse. They went back to being the child. And it's those stories that, really, really touch me, and I carry them. with me to help me with sometimes the sorrow and the overwhelmness this work can provide.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for bringing that up, Anne Marie. It is to self reflect a little bit and be able to share why we do what we do and the joy and impact that this type of work brings to us in our personal lives. I think we can both safely say it's shaped us both for the better. It shaped who we are, the type of individuals we are and we've become. And I couldn't be more grateful.
And I couldn't be more grateful for you coming back and joining our team.
We're meant to be. We're a good pair.
Absolutely.